Should we try this again?
Listen, man, I know it's been 2 months since I last uploaded a video, and to the 10 people that actually watched these and, anticipated these, I'm sorry, and I promise it's not gonna happen again. But it's okay though, because, at least we have some stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff has happened, bro, in my absence. There's some beef going on Twitter as per usual. And yeah, that's actually something I do want to talk about, but let me think, what should I talk about first though? So, I should probably talk about what's going on with this series, because I'm changing things up a little bit, It's not, we're not going to be doing it the same way I was going to do it before. And basically this time, my plan is we're going to do 3 episodes. It's going to be a 3-part series of Sonic Generations. We're going to play the full story, and hopefully I can do 1 era per episode. So obviously this episode will be the classic era where I do Green Hill, Chemical Plant, Sky Sanctuary, but also I want to do the 2 bosses for every era. I'll be doing Metal Sonic and hopefully the Death Egg robot as well. And mainly I'm also trying to see if there were any important or I guess significant changes to this game, because I know a lot of people when this came out, they were saying that graphically there were basically no changes to the original. And I think people were saying that because a lot of them have played the PC version. Now me, as someone that grew up with the console version of this game, this looks pretty good to me. I'm not sure if it looks better than the original, but this looks pretty good. But yeah, other than that, trying to see dialogue changes, and not sure what else there would be. I highly doubt they change the stages, highly doubt they change the challenges, but either way, we're gonna see. I don't think I'll do the challenges on camera, unless you guys want to see a separate video for the challenges. I don't know if anyone would want to see that, but if you do, then I guess I'll do it. Premi Doremi has not made a video in 3 weeks. Where is this man at? I don't know, but he is the main source for all Sonic news for me, because I don't be using Twitter or any other social media. So if he doesn't cover it, then I don't know about it. And then all these commentary YouTubers, bro, they keep posting about the same child safety act thing that's going on in America. I don't give a damn, bro. I don't care. It's the same thing each and every time, same topic. I'm just man, somebody needs to, cover something different, because this is getting old. By the way, I can't believe Sonic has been laid out like this. This might be the lamest thing he's ever done in his whole career. But yeah, like I was saying, sooner or later, we're gonna be smoking that United States pack, because apparently they're restricting people who are refusing to provide ID. If you don't give ID to YouTube, you just won't be able to use certain features, which is kind of tragic, but guess what? It's only in the US, so I'm not affected, and I don't really care. Nah, but seriously though, this censorship is getting out of control, bro. I truly do feel for those of you that live in the US, bro, and you're gonna have to struggle with this. I don't know if it's gonna affect that much. I'm making Sonic videos, bro. I don't think, that's necessarily 18 plus worthy, but if it does, then it is what it is, bro. If I were you guys, man, I'll just use a VPN and, do what you gotta do, because I'm pretty sure they were trying to do this in the UK as well, to where they're censoring NSFW stuff, and I heard that that's an actual problem. I don't know if it's already been done or not. To all my gooners out there, you guys can let me know, but I haven't been doing anything of the sort, so I wouldn't know. But either way, I'm pretty sure you could probably just use a VPN to change your location, and you should probably do that if you live in the US right now and you're scared of getting restricted. I don't know if YouTube is following through with it or not, but if they are, then yeah, that's your only option really. But one thing I wanted to talk about though, that's actually Sonic related, because I'm just talking about some nonsense right now, is the beef that's going on Twitter, bro. I've been hearing that people are saying Frontiers is a worse game than Sonic 06 apparently. And yo, speaking of Premi Doremi, bro, I know he's hyped right now, that's one of his favorite Sonic games, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna be glad that people are finally seeing the light in his eyes. But no cap, I'm not sure. I don't know what you guys are smoking as of late. I don't know why this is such a big issue anyway. Personally, I think 06 looks cause here's the thing. this actually segues into another thing I wanted to talk about real quick. Cause I was watching a Sonny Boy 180 video, right? And he's basically like he does Let's Plays and stuff like that. If you guys haven't heard of him, I'll put his channel on the screen. But he was talking about in one of his videos, he said that oftentimes Sonic fans love to talk about games that they've never actually played. And he used Sonic Rush as an example. He said most of the people that think Rush is a good game have never actually played it. Now, personally, I don't think I'm guilty of this. Before someone tries to pull up receipts or something, no, I genuinely believe I'm not guilty of this. I played Rush, but yeah, I've never played Rush Adventure either. I never played Colors DS. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I don't like talking on games that I've never actually played. And it makes me wonder, are these people on Twitter trolling? Or, you know, have they just never played 06? Because Premier Remy, man, maybe one day you'll watch this video and you could comment on this yourself. But like, objectively, 06, in terms of like, you know, wait, let me think about this before I speak. I'm trying to think, how is, from an objective standpoint, and speaking of Premier Remy, he said this one thing one time. I'll try to put the tweet on screen, but he said you cannot judge things objectively because the criteria for objectivity is inherently subjective. And that was a bar, but like, bro, Sonic 06 is one of the most unpolished Sonic games to ever be released. And it's like, genuinely, in terms of gameplay, if we're talking about like in its raw state, you know, no mods, no recompilations, no nothing. If we're just talking the games in their purest form, I don't see how Frontiers is any, like, how is it a worse game than 06, bro? Because I was thinking this recently, like, 06 is a game that I grew up watching so many people play, but again, I've never got to play it before. And it's one of those things where it's like the game looks really cool, but when you're playing it, I'm sure it's not as good as it seems, you know, which is why I'm thinking like the majority of people saying this might not have ever even actually played 06. They're probably talking about Project 06. Did Xenia have any, like, you know, differences? Did they alter Xenia's version of 06 in any way? Because if they did, maybe that's the version they're talking about. But I can't see how 06 is in any way a better game than Frontiers. I'm saying this as someone who thinks that 06 is a way cooler game than Frontiers. Like, Frontiers was a step in the right direction. It was open zone. It was cool. And it's a boost game, which, you know, that's my favorite formula. But I don't know, 06 just always seemed cooler to me in terms of like the characters, the mature like style. It's just, I always thought it was superior, but I can't say that for the gameplay. Number one, because I haven't played it, but also because I know, and this is something that, you know, I mean, the thing is about bugs, I was going to say I know the game has an abundance of bugs. The thing about bugs is that you might not experience these bugs in your playthrough, you know, you might not, and that's fine. But the issue is that they are very easy to experience. Like, they're very common for the majority of people that have played the game. And it's like, I don't know, I just don't know what people are smoking, if it's some type of crack that's been, you know, distributed around the country on some Gus Fring shit. But I just don't know what these guys are talking about. Like, if you, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's going on. Now, I'm not going to speak on it too much because, again, I have never played 06. And, you know, I don't know what's going on. But, like, man, I don't know, man. Have you guys actually played the game is my real question. Because let me just say this. Here's how I'm going to end this conversation, right? I've never played 06. So for those of you that have played 06, you guys can answer the question. But if you haven't, then I would just recommend you just shut up, man. Because I don't know what you guys are smoking. But one thing I also wanted to touch on was I was talking to some guy in Chowcola's chat. And he was saying, like, he asked me, what do you think about the SA2 propaganda? And I'm like, what's going on with SA2? You know, like, apparently there is some intense glazing going on with that game. And again, that's another thing I can't really talk about because I have never played the game before. But isn't SA2 like critically acclaimed, like one of the most critically acclaimed Sonic games? I'm trying to think that what was the best rated Sonic game on Metacritic, because I believe they have like they take into account multiple reviewers, so I guess it's the most accurate site for, like, you know, critics Not for the, general public, I'm sure. But in terms of critics, yeah, it's the most accurate, I'd say. So if we want to go off that, we can go off that. But I don't want to go off that. So I'm just not going to say anything about it. Now, what I'm trying to convey here is that, I agree with Sonny Boy 180, bro. If you are a Sonic fan and you have not played a Sonic game, stop talking about the Sonic games you have never played. Just stop doing it, because it's something that is very annoying, bro. That's something the Sonic community loves to do, where they love talking about games they just never played. And it's like, bro, stop speaking out of your ass, bro.
Okay, I've made a severe lapse in my judgment, and I would like to apologize. I realize that the things I was saying in this video are very silly, and I just want to elaborate real quick. When I said that you can't talk about games that you've never played, I purely meant from a gameplay perspective. You don't need to play the game to actually experience the story, to understand the story, to view the story. You can watch Let's Plays, watch cutscenes, I don't know, anything. You can even read it through, like, I don't know, if somebody wants to write down the transcript. You don't need to play the game to understand the story, that's fine. But when it comes to the actual gameplay, obviously you need to have actually played the game, because how are you going to know how the game controls, how are you going to know how it feels, how slippery a character is, or how, floaty someone is. But yeah, I just thought I should say that real quick before, I start sounding like an elitist, and I'm sorry for any confusion.
Always confuse me how these guys can, because I've watched so many Let's Plays of different Sonic games over the years, since I was younger, but I'm not out here claiming that Heroes is the best Sonic game just because, I saw a Let's Play about it and I thought it was the coolest. No, and that's not accurate, by the way. I don't think that Heroes is the coolest Sonic game. I actually think it's Unleashed, and that's a game I've played. But enough of pissing people off, bro, because I know people have no clue what I'm talking about. They just probably think I'm, high or something. One thing I was supposed to talk about, though, was the fact that I made some posts on Miiverse. I don't know if anyone still uses that. If you have a modded Wii U or 3DS, and you probably still do, but I made some posts on Miiverse, and I was talking about what is the best super transformation, and I got some very cool answers that I wanted to talk about real quick. So some people were saying that the best super transformation objectively is Hypersonic, because it doesn't get any better than not being able to drown, having an OP super dash, being ultra fast, and being damn near invincible. And I agree with that. I mean, not really much else to be said. Yeah, it's probably the most overpowered transformation, which is probably why they decided not to bring it back all these years later, because it's just that broken. But anyway, on that same post that I made, which I'll put on screen, by the way, because I might have forgot, somebody said that their favorite transformation, not the best as in the strongest, but their favorite transformation was Super Tails. And that was really baffling to me, because I never thought I would ever even hear someone utter something so ridiculous. Simply because, who in their right mind would say that Tails has the best super transformation, or I guess their favorite super transformation, when, Neo Metal Sonic exists, when Super Sonic exists, Cyber Sonic, Dark Spine Sonic, Hyper Sonic. And you said that Super Tails is better than all of those. And that's another one that didn't actually come to mind until someone said it. As a reply to that post, they said Neo Metal Sonic was their favorite super transformation. And I never actually thought about that, because, I haven't watched anything to do with Heroes in so long. But yeah, that's actually a really unique answer. And speaking of unique answers, another person said that Burning Blaze was their favorite super transformation. And then that got me thinking, who is better, right? Out of Burning Blaze or ESP Silver? Now, some people are gonna say that ESP Silver doesn't really count as a super form. I'm not saying it does, I'm not saying it doesn't. But what I'm saying is that form is cool. That transformation, that mode, whatever you want to call it, it's cool. And not only do I want to see more of it, but I want to know, do people prefer it over, for example, Burning Blaze or even Supersonic? I'm not going to lie. I prefer it over Supersonic, just because, it seems like a futuristic super transformation, if that makes sense. And I feel like it's one of those things that really shows how little Sega's really tapped into Silver's potential. And it's one of those things, man, I just want them to make a Silver game. I want them to give us a taste of that Silver psychokinetic blood. Because I'm hungry for it, man. I'm fiending for it.
I want you jump roping butt booty naked right in my face so I can see that booty bouncing with maximum efficiency. I'm not gonna lie to you. I want that and I desire that. I need that. I'm dreaming about that, man. Give it here.
And I think it's ridiculous that we haven't gotten it yet, like genuinely. Even if we just got a Silver and Blaze game. Because I'm just saying, man, like, we saw... Now, I don't remember the exact story of 06 and I haven't played the game, so don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that Silver's future was fucked up, man. Outside of Mephiles, I'm pretty sure it's messed up. I don't know if he lived in a utopia or what, like before Mephiles attacked or whatever he did. I don't know how Crisis City ended up the way it was. I assume he was living in a utopia or something, but it's just like, man, I want to see what that place was like, you know? Like, does Silver really pull up to the future every single time he has a problem, or does he do things himself? Does he take matters into his own hands? I want to see him take matters into his own hands personally, because people are forgetting he's a hedgehog too. I don't know anything about power scaling, but he's strong himself. Maybe he's not as strong as Sonic or Shadow. I don't know. I don't know anything about power scaling, literally. But I'm just saying, like, he clearly isn't weak. Like, apparently psychokinesis is a strong ability, like it's a common ability in the future, but that doesn't mean it's not strong. Anyway, it's time for the challenge portion, and I'm just gonna do this off camera because, like, I feel like it's gonna be boring. If anyone wants to see a video on the challenges, I guess I'll do it, but like, yeah, only if anyone actually wants to see it. So alright, so I'm doing one of the challenge stages, but I had a thought just now that I wanna reconvey what I was trying to say with the 06 and Frontiers argument. I'm saying I don't know what the real answer to the question is, right? Whether Frontiers or 06 is a better game. I don't know, alright? I don't know the answer, but all I'm asking is, for those of you that are saying 06 is the better game, have you actually played it? That's all I'm asking. It's not me trying to tell you that you're wrong. It's me just asking, you know, like, have you actually played the original game? Have you played Project 06 and the Xenia, or did you play the original game? Because those three things are very different, you know? I'm not here to press my opinion on anyone. I understand that both games have their flaws, both games have their pros, you know, they have their cons, but I'm just asking, for those of you that are saying 06 is the better game, have you really played it? Have you seen Let's Plays on it? What's the vibe here? Alright, I know I said I was gonna cut the challenge portions out of this video, but low-key, I'm having fun recording again, bro. I'm having a lot more fun than I thought I would. And, like, you know, it's just nice, bro. It's just nice. So if you made it this far, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah, one thing, yo, let me just preach the gospel real quick, bro. You guys should read Tower of God, because that's something I've been reading for a really long time, a couple years now. And it's just such a peak. It's a webtoon. It's like basically manga but Korean. That's the best comparison I can make for it. But if you guys read manga and you want a little bit of color, then go ahead and read Tower of God. It's basically the One Piece of webtoons, but like actually good. And yes, I just said that about One Piece. And if you have a problem with that, you can leave right now. Naruto supremacy, I don't care what nobody says, man. I'd even go as far as to say that Boruto is as good. No, Boruto is better than that garbage show One Piece, bro. I'm putting that on my own soul. I genuinely believe that. Challenges are finito. That means it's time for us to start doing the bosses. And the first one I want to do is the GOAT of rivals, you know. I'm trying to think. Out of fakers, you know, there's Mephiles, there's Shadow. Who else is there? Wait, did I say Mephiles and Shadow? I meant Metal Sonic and Shadow. Mephiles is a faker of Shadow, but he's not a faker of Sonic. So either way, what I'm trying to say is that rival-wise, you know, like clones of Sonic, I guess you could say, Metal Sonic is my favorite, without a doubt in my mind. He is the GOAT. He is the most menacing. I feel like Shadow gets glazed the same way Sasuke does, and I don't like that, man. I never liked that. I think he's overrated. Now, I'm not saying that he's trash before people get on to me for saying that. Like, he's not terrible. And he's not trash by any means, but yo, especially in Boom. He was really cool in Boom, that's for sure. Anyway, this boss fight is pretty easy. All we need to do, just, I guess, dodge his attacks and then Make sure we're up on rings, and yeah, we can just attack him when he runs out of steam. Like right now, it's easy, bro. You just have to chill. And some people are gonna say that the spin dash is broken already in this game, and you know, there was no point in adding the peel out when everyone's just gonna keep abusing the spin dash. But they could have had it like interchangeable or something. All I'm saying is that Mania had it, and this game came out way after Mania in terms of the remaster, obviously. So I don't know why they didn't just follow Mania's footsteps, and they shouldn't have excluded the GOAT of classic Sonic abilities. Cause low-key, that's the only reason why I even have respect for classic Sonic, bro. Like, if it wasn't for the super peel out's existence, I would have just cut this man out of the video. Anytime I played the Act 1 stage, I would have just cut it out. Cause I have no love for this guy. But because of the super peel out, and I remember those memories, you know, that clean running animation, I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm allowing him to be in the video, even though he doesn't deserve it. Look at my GOAT looking snazzy on the other side of that mirror. So clean, bro. The only thing that can make this better is if it was Jason Griffith instead of Roger. And I love Roger, but like, he's just not as good as the werehog. Yo. Ooh. Wait. I changed my mind. I changed my mind on everything. I'm sorry. Anyone who's a classic Sonic fan watching this video, I apologize for the things I said. I apologize for the things I stated. I apologize for any insults that I delivered. And I was wrong. And I'm admitting that right now with 100% certainty. Modern Sonic is a fraud, and classic Sonic is the GOAT for, you know, doing what he just did. That might have been the cleanest, coldest, coolest thing that I've ever seen him do in his entire lifetime, and I mean that with 100%, with 1000%. Alright, this boss fight is pretty easy from what I remember. Let me not trip. But, you know, I think all we have to do, dodge his arms. Yeah, he does this little thing. It's like, I don't know why this reminds me of a boss fight from Sonic Rush. And then when he jumps, that's when you spin dash over him, and then you can attack his behind paws. But yes, we do indeed have to hit him from the back. And I think there's a phase shift at some point on some Pokken. Yo, have you guys ever actually played Pokken Tournament? That game was goated, man. Like one of my first fighting games. Alright, there we go. And then we hit him from the back once more. Alright, so next, hit these buttons, hit these bombs. See, I remember this boss fight. My game knowledge, what the hell's going on? Oh, my game IQ is top notch though, bro. I remember this boss fight like the back of my hand, man. Alright, so next, hit this one. See, it's very simple. It's very simple. Oh, no, I messed up. What is going on right now? Come on, big dog. Hit me one more time. Please. There we go. Is that it? Let's go. Fantastic, bro. It's beautiful. See, he even tried to aura farm. Man, don't lose your position. I just gave you so much respect, man. That's enough. We're done with classic Sonic. Low-key, man. I'm gonna glaze, man. I'm gonna glaze. That cutscene was so cold. Like, I never expected him of all people. Like, that's how you know Sonic was born ignorant. Because, of course, his younger self was the first one to actually hop into the portal. Modern Sonic would never do that because, you know, he experienced what happens in Forces and he doesn't like taking risks anymore. Because that game was so ass. Yo, one thing I never understood, bro, even when I was younger, I realized this. Classic Tails looks so lifeless, bro. Like, he looks like he's been through the drought, you know, the post-Forces drought. That's what he looks like. He looks so depressed, and it's like, it always bothered me. Like, look at his eyes, bro. What has this nigga been through? Alright, so essentially what just happened is Time Eater swooped in through that portal simply just to aura farm. You see how he swiped at the crowd, you know, he swiped at Sonic and the Sonics and the Tails. He had no intention of actually harming them. He simply did that for the sake of, you know, reinstating his status as a dog, and, you know, he wanted to seem cool. And I mean, it worked. It definitely did work. It had them chasing after him, but like, come on, man. The viewers, us as the viewers, we see what you were trying to do. That's some Piccolo shit, bro. Anyway, you know, with that being said though, this next episode is probably gonna be my favorite in the entire series, because yo, these Dreamcast stages were so fun, especially City Escape. I remember replaying that all the time. And speaking of City Escape, Rouge had me clicking on so many YouTube thumbnails when I was younger. It's crazy, bro. Anyway, I'm heading out. I'm gonna go edit this right now because I actually need to post. And yeah.